Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers as it concerns the Utah Jazz and a trade scenario that could go down between both parties when it comes to the Lakers and the Utah Jazz, showing a lot of interest when it comes to a trade scenario. And guys, I want to give you all my thoughts and my opinions about the Lakers and their interest in 3 Utah Jazz players, maybe 2, sort of depends on the trade scenario that could go down between the Lakers and the Jazz in a trade scenario. So, guys, I want to give you all my thoughts and my opinions about it. But before anything, like always, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff. And, of course, like always, please make sure to like my page on Facebook, ZSPN, and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at ZSPN_sports. Guys, I really do appreciate all the love and support you guys have given me all across social media and, of course, on this channel, ZSPN on YouTube. Please make sure to hit that notification bell so you will know when I upload on this channel. And, guys, if you haven't yet, please show me the love support by hitting that thanks button that's right next to, I believe, the thumbs up button and, the subscribe button. I mean, it's just a heart-shaped thanks. If you guys show me the love support, if you guys love this content that I give to you all on this channel, ZSPN on YouTube, I really do appreciate it. Let's continue to grow this channel to to the highest level, when it comes to this type of content. With your love and support, guys, we will grow this channel to, I don't know, maybe 5, 10, 15, maybe 100,000 subscribers with your love and support. Let's keep this channel relevant. I really do appreciate it. And, it's just, I really do appreciate your guys' love and support. But, guys, let's just get right into the Los Angeles Lakers and the Utah Jazz trade scenario. Now, guys, according to the reports that I've been hearing when it comes to a trade scenario from the Lakers and the Utah Jazz, the Lakers have shown interest in Mike Conley Jr., Jordan Clarkson, and Bojan Bogdanovic when it comes to the Lakers making a trade package, obviously surrounding Russell Westbrook being part of the trade, and maybe potentially 2 or maybe 1 first-round pick, and maybe throw in maybe a second-round pick, or maybe another player could be involved when it comes to making a trade happen with the Utah Jazz. And, the Lakers, as I said, are showing interest in potentially, Mike Conley Jr., Jordan Clarkson, and, of course, Bojan Bogdanovic. I also saw another trade scenario with the Jazz that obviously just included Mike Conley Jr. and Jordan Clarkson. Now, if the Lakers are going to go that route, obviously maybe just 1 first-round pick is plenty enough for a trade to go down, and obviously added on, Russell Westbrook in the trade could potentially go down when it comes to that type of scenario. But if the Lakers want also Bojan Bogdanovic, I think maybe a second round, maybe just another first-round pick could be added on, and maybe a second-round pick could be potentially part of that particular trade. Maybe that type of scenario could potentially go down between the Lakers and the Utah Jazz. But I also saw, guys, if you guys are seeing this and watching this video, I also mentioned the rumored report is that the Lakers are trying to preserve cap space. So they're kind of cautious when it comes to this particular trade between themselves and the Utah Jazz. And I kind of see where the Lakers are coming from. And I mean, obviously, this off season was not really great for the Lakers when it comes to cap wise. I mean, the Lakers basically signed veteran minimum type contracts, and they only had a tax mid-level exception. So it was somewhere around like $6 million. So that's the only cap space that the Lakers had in front of them. Now, if they go into this upcoming season and, obviously next season in 2023 free agency, the Lakers will be potentially having some cap space. I mean, they will have money in the books when it comes to, or not in the books, but obviously free money to go into free agency and sign some potential key players that could obviously help LeBron and potentially Anthony Davis, when it comes to moving forward. So obviously, I like this move. The Lakers are trying to preserve their contract. I mean, their cap space for potentially next season. So having said all that, when it comes to this trade rumor, it is interesting. It's very appealing when it comes to getting some help for the roster, and obviously the rotation will be great. But if the Lakers want to preserve their cap space, they need to obviously find players that are basically either, having expiring contracts, or maybe players that are, making somewhere around like, maybe 15 to 20 million, for maybe next season, or maybe just having a 2-year type of contract. So that's the only best scenario that I think the Lakers, that they are being cautious when it comes to the Utah Jazz trade. But I have always been on the mindset that the Indiana Pacers trade is the best trade scenario that the Lakers could pull off between, with the Indiana Pacers. And obviously getting Buddy Hield and Miles Turner is the best route and the best fit, in my opinion, because obviously the Lakers obviously need a shooting guard. And they also need, they already have centers. I mean, obviously they went after free agency and got Thomas Bryant and Damian Jones. But, if you get a guy like Miles Turner, who obviously can be a great blocker for you, and of course can shoot for you for a center of his size. So, and, obviously Buddy Hield, a guy who is a sharpshooter, can shoot like almost like 39 to 40%, in his career so far, is something that the Lakers do need when it comes to adding on shooters. But, at the same time, the Indiana Pacers, they're asking for a lot when it comes to what the Lakers have in their asset-wise. I think I saw a scenario at the time that they wanted THT, and, they wanted 2 first-round picks, and I believe a second-round pick. And at the same time, the Lakers will not only get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, but they'll be also getting an expiring type of not expiring. The Indiana Pacers want the Lakers to take on another contract, which obviously is a bad type of contract. So I can understand why lately we haven't been hearing a lot from the Lakers and the Indiana Pacers trade. That's why I think when they moved to the scenario of a trade rumor between themselves and the Utah Jazz, it was a bit interesting and a bit, I guess, yeah, just an interesting type of scenario. Because when you look at what the Lakers are asking for when it comes to the Utah Jazz, I think it's a similar type of scenario with the Indiana Pacers, only, they're not going to be getting, so much of a, I guess you can say, like players that can obviously shoot for you, because most of the players that the Lakers will be getting can shoot. I mean, obviously Bojan Bogdanovic, a guy who can average around 39 to 38% from the 3, and you can obviously score for you, and that's why I really think he'll fit very well on the Lakers when it comes to the second unit behind LeBron James, a guy who's up, I believe, 6'6" or 6'7". So obviously he's a small forward. So I think could obviously really benefit the Lakers for the second unit. And, a guy who can give you like 17 to 18 points a game. I mean, that's really great for that type of scenario when it comes to the Lakers finding some help scoring wise, and a guy who can shoot. And obviously when you look at Mike Conley, obviously it's just a point guard, swap when it comes down to it. I mean, I really think that Mike Conley could potentially start for the Lakers if he joins if the trade goes down between the Lakers and the Utah Jazz. And Mike Conley, he's no scrub. I mean, he's a solid point guard, but he's not like an elite. He's not like an elite point guard. He did make the All-Star game. I mean, he made an All-Star appearance. in his first time in his career, with his lengthy career, with the Utah Jazz, surprisingly. I mean, I was surprised that he did not make the All-Star appearance with the Memphis Grizzlies, but, it is what it is. He did make the All-Star game, and, congratulations to him. But other than that, he can obviously bring shooting to the table. I think he shot like 36, maybe I believe 36% from the three. And he can give you, I mean, I believe a couple of years ago, he suffered an Achilles injury, so that could obviously play a big role with his decline in his career, in his career because of that. He can give you like 15, maybe 16 points a game, but I think he can fit very well with LeBron James. I think he can obviously help LeBron James and this Lakers team to obviously win games, because obviously he's been a big asset to the Utah Jazz team for these past 3 years that he was there. So there's something beneficial to what you can bring to the table, but there's no other. I mean, there's no other point guards that I think that can obviously replace, what Russell Westbrook brought to the Lakers. I mean, it's just hard to tell at the moment. I mean, maybe the Lakers will go to free agency and get, Dennis Schroeder, but, that's just going to be a lot of point guards on the team. But, I'm just throwing out some speculations and some scenarios. But, Mike Conley, he will be a nice addition to the team. And obviously, the number one interest that I love to see the Lakers make is bringing back Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson is no stranger to the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, the guy had obviously started his career with the Los Angeles Lakers, 4 years with the organization. And, he was the steal of the draft. And, the guy is just, when it comes down to it, guys, he was so consistent. The guy is always, when it comes down to his role on the team, he accepted it, and he obviously brought it every single night. I mean, a guy who averages throughout his career around 17 to 16 points a game. I mean, the guy is just so gifted when it comes to what he will bring to the table for the Los Angeles Lakers. And, he just understands the culture of LA. And, it was just so sad to see him go back in, I believe, 2017 or 2018 when we traded, when we traded him to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Isaiah Thomas and I believe Channing Frye, which obviously did not work out whatsoever. That was just history then. But obviously, when you look at right now, Jordan Clarkson has developed to become a very great player in this league. Obviously, got a sixth man of the year. And, when it comes down to it, guys, he gained a lot of experience when it comes to playing in the playoffs, especially with the Utah Jazz. And plus, here's another perk. He played with LeBron James with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, the guy knows how to play with LeBron James as well. And, LeBron James is no stranger to how he feels about Jordan Clarkson. I mean, he has a lot of great time with Jordan Clarkson during this last year with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, with that being said, having Jordan Clarkson come back with that type of experience that he has under his belt with playing with the Utah Jazz, playing with LeBron James, and having some playoff experience, I mean, it's just kind of fitting for him to come back to the Lakers and bring that experience to the table as well. So that's another perk when it comes to this trade scenario with the Utah Jazz to get Jordan Clarkson as well. And plus, as I mentioned, with Bojan Bogdanovic and Mike Conley, they will be nice additions to the team when it comes down to that type of scenario. But guys, we also had to look at reality at this moment, because with the only two trades that's in front of the Lakers at the moment, with the Utah Jazz and the Indiana Pacers, that's it. That's the only trade scenario. And with the assets the Lakers have, it will kind of honestly be questionable at the moment if a trade does come down between the Utah Jazz or the Indiana Pacers. We have to embrace ourselves, and hopefully, or maybe, a trade may not go down, and we could potentially see us moving forward with the roster we have with Russell Westbrook still on the team. That's the only honest scenario that I kind of see where the Lakers are what things are looking like right now. But with this type of rumor report, guys, it could be a possibility, but it's kind of up in the air at this moment. It's kind of, as I said for these past couple of videos that I've been saying this, it's another a waiting type of scenario for the Lakers when it comes to making a decision and making a move on a trade. But having said all that, guys, I really think that it is a waiting type of scenario, and we just have to wait and see what the Lakers will do when it comes to this type of trade interest. I mean, I personally kind of like this move, but at the same time, if I would have picked the Indiana Pacers or the Utah Jazz trade, I'll go the Indiana Pacers route, because obviously, the Lakers were getting the needs and the fits that would be great for this roster with Buddy Hield and Miles Turner joining the Lakers. But, you can obviously look at the Utah Jazz trade and say that's also a beneficial type of scenario with the Lakers as well. So it's kind of give and take, type of scenario. I mean, I won't be mad with the Utah Jazz trade, and I won't be mad with the Pacers trade if the Lakers have to give up 2 first-round picks to make it happen. But as I said, guys, I mean, the Lakers are trying to see, they're trying to preserve cap space for next season in 2023. So plays also a big role with the Lakers' decision if they want to pull the trigger on a trade or not. So it's a waiting game. That's the word. It's just a waiting game at this moment, guys. And I really want to know your thoughts and your opinions about the Lakers and the Utah Jazz trade rumor. Do you think the Lakers should target Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley, and Bojan Bogdanovic in a trade scenario? Or do you think the Lakers should stick with the Indiana Pacers trade with Buddy Hield and Miles Turner? Or if you guys think maybe some of the Lakers fans out there think that we're going to move forward with the roster that we have with Russell Westbrook on the team and just see what he will bring into the table in his second year with the Lakers. I mean, maybe it will be different. You never know, guys. Maybe he's on a mission to prove all the doubters and all the haters wrong, and maybe he will let it up for the Lakers. It sort of remains to be seen if he will achieve that with the Lakers, if that will be his number one goal going into the regular season. It sort of remains to be seen at the moment, guys. And I really want to know, guys, your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and please hit that notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button, and hit that thanks button. Show me the love, and please hit that thanks button. I really do appreciate it. And like me all across social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at ZSPN. And follow me all across social media and on TikTok. And of course, guys, subscribe to my podcast as well, ZSPN on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Radio Public, all those great podcast distributions as well. And of course, guys, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.